Only been out for a little bit of time, but a lot of you have already asked about it, so I'm going to go ahead and go through this footage here from Battlefield that they were so kind to send to me. Granted, I had to beat Jan in an arm wrestling contest, but she puts up a good fight, so it wasn't completely free. But we got some footage here for you, so let's look at this new Battlefield Labs. We're just going to go through it all and see what we can see out of all this. This is, of course, just a raw video of it, so we're going to see some pretty good quality and watch what they've got here. Of course, they're right now just going over the history of Battlefield and things that have really made Battlefield what it is.
It's just unlike any other game I've played.
Battlefield's always been very unique to its own self.
This franchise comes with a long history, spanning over 20 years now. But the question is, how do we continue to build on that?
No, the real question is, what's your favorite Battlefield? Y'all can tell me about that later. But how do they continue to build on this? Honestly, to me, the easiest way to continue to build on it is to take the Battlefields that were the best received and continue from there. They would do best if they stopped trying to reinvent the wheel and just improved on what they've already been doing. We keep going.
And push Battlefield to the next level.
We're in Los Angeles.
I've been playing Battlefield since long before I joined the team. When 1942 first came out, the amount of fun that we all sat down and had with it is just, like a fond memory.
If you don't know Vince, previously Respawn, previously Infinity Ward, made games like the original Modern Warfare and Titanfall. Keep going.
So in joining the Battlefield team, it was about the opportunity to give that team that space to do something just more amazing even than they've done in the past.
We set out with this ambitious idea of creating this new Battlefield universe. And to make that vision reality, we had to think big.
I don't know Byron. Battlefield Studios. This is the brand new part. So for those that don't know, these studios they've already kind of existed, but they've been doing a bunch of things. DICE is the one that you're familiar with that has always done Battlefield titles. Criterion were the ones that made the Battlefield Battle Royale. Ripple Effect did, if I remember correctly, the extraction mode for 2042, and then Motive, I think, has done most of the motion capture, if I'm remembering that correctly. I could be wrong.
With its own culture,
I'm sure you'll tell me if I'm wrong down below. So that's great.
Studios.
One team that spans across the globe and combines 20 years of franchise experience with emerging talent.
Sweet. Always nice. Stockholm. I've been there. This is a really cool place. I was very lucky to get to go meet the people over at DICE in Sweden a few years back for Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 time. Really nice people.
DICE has such a rich history with Battlefield.
Been there.
We've been working on it for years and years. But we also want to do something bigger and better than we've ever done before. Can't do that with one studio.
DICE is responsible for the multiplayer part of the game. It incorporates things like destruction systems, class play, squad.
So if anybody's been around the Battlefield series for a long time, you actually might recognize that falling, crumbling building thing. That was actually something we saw before the launch of Battlefield 5.
Systems, class play,
that crumbling building.
Play, vehicles, gadgets, all of those kind of underlying systems that drive the experience.
Montreal, never been there.
Here at Motive, we're working on multiplayer maps, and we're also working on single-player mission contents.
Okay, so they answered it for me. Multiplayer maps and single player. So these are going to be your story-driven group.
We're driving a cinematic experience to the level that's never been done on Battlefield before.
Which is nice, because that Battlefield stories, I really liked 4 and 3 and Bad Company, and even Hardline, but I don't think I remember. Oh, Battlefield 1 story was really good. Battlefield 5, though, I don't think we really even had one, did we?
Ripple Effect has a long history of working on the Battlefield franchise.
We're working on an experience that is really going to open Battlefield up to a whole group of new players, but really still exciting that core audience that has made this franchise so successful.
They didn't really say what Ripple Effect was doing there. We need to watch out for those guys.
Criterion have been supporting Battlefield for a decade now, and now we're going to bring that to the table as a fully fledged kind of partner in the Battlefield studios.
Mainly, we've been focused on the single-player experience.
So we've got Criterion and Motive both doing single player.
So the campaign is back for Battlefield,
which I think is important.
This many teams and talents dedicated to the development of Battlefield, and we have a plan to create a new, exciting future for the franchise.
I don't know if I'm the only one, but every time I see that one of their screens, I'm always watching to see what is going on their screens. So if we look at this here, we got the guy walking up to it. That's most likely some version of the UI. And then we have line of sight. So we were knowing they're working on the single player. So this is probably the AI's detection range for single player. I know it's completely dumb, but it's important to notice.
alongside our players.
This game has so much potential, so I think it's about giving the team this time to really hone their craft.
We have to prototype, play test, get feedback,
And then repeat that loop.
over and over and over again. We have to find gameplay that really resonates with the players and then build on that.
100%.
Battlefield Lab.
So for those that don't know, I used to be part of the EA Game Changer program, and with the EA Game Changer program, they used to actually just take us places to do this stuff for them. So I'm glad to see that they're trying to expand on that.
It's our new development initiative where players will get to test specific focus areas in the game.
We've done similar things in the past, but this is a whole nother level. We're doing it before we launch the game, and
Which
we're
is
doing it
smart.
with so much more content.
Tigger is awesome.
It's an exciting way for us to interact with our audience before things go live and make sure
Weird
that
shot.
what we have is really fun and polished.
And we have to test everything, combat to destruction to maps and
Yep.
modes.
We're going to test
Always.
all the new features that we're putting out, and we're going to test hardware like weapons, vehicles, and gadgets.
Smart.
We can try different things.
So that looks like that they're doing all the stuff for all the Battlefield multiplayer stuff is in that testing.
Validate what players
I'm
are
wondering
expecting
what
from
all we're going to get to
Battlefield.
see here before too long, though.
That feedback is crucial in helping us know what to prioritize, what needs improvement, and what feels like a true Battlefield experience.
We're pre-alpha, so now is the time to test all the
Pre-alpha.
experiences our teams have been building for our upcoming launch and beyond.
Join our Discord where you can learn more about our new closed testing environment. We call
Join
it
their
Battlefield
Discord.
Labs.
I'll see if I can chase down the
Let's
link
build
for that
Battlefield together.
and put that in the comments down below. Okay, this is pre-alpha gameplay. Gameplay subject to change. You have to know that. Looks like an Abrams M4 vertical grip, running around, exploding things. If we know anything from Battlefield, they know how to put together a trailer. So we need to obviously take this with a grain of salt. A lot of hard camera shifts here. Let me back it up a little bit here.
Let's build Battlefield together.
I wish I could really run this in slow motion. It would be a little bit more effective for what I was trying to show. So explosions. So that's the next scene. People in cover, gunfire. Nothing too crazy there. Tight alleyways. I heard someone, well, I saw someone type that this reminds them a lot of Grand Bazaar. I could see that. Characters, tight alleyways. One of my favorites was always Grand Bazaar, that and Scene Crossing. It's a lot of players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we've already got a confirmation that they're going back to 64. So that just means that that's an area where a lot of people have been pressed on top of each other. A bunch of crumbling buildings, big culverts cut out here. If we back that up a little bit, actually, it looks like we've got our first look at a little bit of customization too. So that was an engineer. That was an engineer there. And then we also saw somebody with some... So I saw someone with like a ghillie thing on top of his head. I'm hoping that we're seeing some class variation here. This is an M4 user, heavy pack. This is a SMG user, light pack. M4. It looks like there may be a return of proper class separation, but we can not really tell. So there's the ghillie. There's the ghillie suit guy. He's holding an M4 as well. So that may be our first look at customizations for our characters, or if they are going to be class separated. I'm really hoping we have a lot of class separation. This guy's got an RPG, so that's our engineer. We can't see what he looks like from other than the fact that he's running around with an RPG. And then I'm going to try to get you a link to the Battlefield Lab stuff so we can look further into that. But yeah, so that's the trailer. This is the first information that we've got for the new Battlefield. And hopefully I will see all y'all in labs. Obviously, this is a test environment. We've done test environments before with Battlefield, the CTE. One thing to note on CTE stuff is it was pretty much always NDA, which means you won't be able to see any of the stuff for that go live on videos. So your best bet to see this stuff first is do sign up for labs and try to get in. We'll obviously, as people get access to it, probably have more information about all of that. But this is our first look. Let me know how it looks to you. Do you think that there's a chance for Battlefield to make a comeback? Right now would be an insane time for Battlefield to release, especially with Call of Duty doing so poorly. This is their direct competitor, even though they aren't even really in the same line, but they are military modern shooters, so they do get compared a lot. But let me know what you think, and I look forward to reading your comments. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, peace.